Hey, how's it going? I'm here to do the reading from the Golden Present daily readings, inspirational readings that are listed in here for every day of the year. And I'm planning on reading these for 365 days. I started on December 21st, so it'll carry through. And yeah, different things are going to be coming up during this time. And so um, yeah, I'm interested to see how this goes as well. And I'm going to read for today, which is um, February 2nd, I believe. Yeah, okay. And the heading is Nothing is Impossible. God knows your breaking point. His purpose is not to break you. No, not at all. You simply don't know your own strength. You may think, I've reached my limit. I can't do anymore. If you couldn't do it, God would not be putting you into that situation. God knows you better than you know yourself. Unfortunately, He can't help you if you have doubt. Doubt and faith don't go together. If you have complete faith, nothing is impossible. Nothing. That kind of faith will grow in an impure, selfish mind. Sorry, I was like, that did not make sense. That kind of faith will not grow in an impure, selfish mind. So learn to be selfless. Trust in God and say, whatever I deserve, God will give me. Whatever I don't deserve, God will take away. Whatever I need, God will keep with me. The minute the need is over, He will remove it. If we have that kind of total trust, we will always maintain our peace. Yeah, that was just helpful for me to hear as well. Just taking that in. God knows your breaking point. So I'll just touch on briefly about the mention of God. You can think of it as your higher self, universal energy. God is love. God is peace. That kind of reference. So the purpose here is not to break us. That's what I liked how it started out by that, and that it's to help us find our strength. And definitely think that I feel like I'm seeing that happen in myself and in other people in our country, in our world, to really see the human strength, the power of our abilities and of our minds, our collective mind. Um, and You may think I reached my limit, I can't do anymore. And then this guidance here that if you couldn't, then God wouldn't be putting you in a situation. What it makes me think of is just about, things happen for a reason. So rather than thinking, and I've said this before, rather than thinking something went wrong or that something um, shouldn't be happening, rather than spending so much time focusing on thinking of it in that way, like there's something wrong. This is against everything I believe in, and this is what I believe in. Like that is valid, but spending energy and your resources, your vital resources, focusing on a situation that way will exhaust you, will exhaust us. And in effect, it's really a distraction. And people who are skilled with um, marketing and intentionally wanting to cause distraction will feed into that, and will feed into that even more and more until there is that sense of helplessness, to this sense of overwhelm. So what I choose to do is rather than to focus in on the negative part of it, or to use my energy towards feeling anger and hate. I recognize it. Those are in me. It's not like I'm trying to act like they're not in me. Those things are there, but rather than water them with those those thoughts that basically are clouding my pure thoughts, I move towards something that helps to create a sense of peace and clarity. And for me, that's practicing yoga, that's meditation, it's talking to people who are uplifting to me. I don't want to talk with the people who are the negative, talkers, or the ones who focus on the problem and talk more about the problem and then how the problem is a problem, and but to talk with people who are really focused on change, on changing the situation towards something better, which essentially is towards peace, towards a more peaceful outcome. And sometimes reaching that, I was having a little dialogue with a friend of mine um, about pacifism and having a passive approach. It's not that it's not fueled by the same kind of anger, frustration, feeling betrayed and all that, but that it's the way that energy gets channeled is through a way that I feel is on a higher vibrational level that pierces through to create change and maybe longer lasting change. I think all of the spectrum of our actions is needed right now, especially when we're feeling discontented and completely derailed by the things that we're experiencing. Um, there's cause for all of the different actions, agreement, disagreement, because it's that's part of the fire that's churning, that's creating this movement that then will kind of eventually hopefully burn clear and show the clear path. Um, yeah, and then just having faith. Yeah, I want to read this again because I misread it and I was like, "What?" The kind of having that kind of faith will not grow in an impure, selfish mind. So learn to be selfless. So what does grow in an impure, selfish mind? It's um, we might be able to easily come up with what that is. And I think we can even see that in our own lives when we've had some um, felt selfish. Some of our choices were self-seeking. They weren't for the greater good. They certainly weren't selfless, but they were to satisfy some of our own cravings or personal desires. And how far does that take us? How far can you get when that's your motivation? Usually they're temporary, they're short-lived, and it usually causes us to then want to do that more and in bigger ways. And I feel like we're seeing that in front of us now. Yeah. I'm just looking at the time, and I feel like it took me a minute to get warmed up here. Now I feel like I'm a little warmer, but that's the nature of these readings, and just having faith that this is a practice that will help me continue to kind of pull my thoughts more and more forward and become more articulate and more of a resource for conversations with friends and students and that sort of thing. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. It goes in its own time, but I have faith that there's something to this, and I have faith that sharing this is useful in some capacity. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.